going on, guys, and welcome to Friday Night Gas. This is the podcast with Gas. I am your humble and unhappy host, Jamie, and I am here, as always, with my co-commentator, Lum.
Not happy either.
Not happy either. And this is the change name episodia, episode 4. Lum, back to normal. Normality's resumed. FPL is a shit show.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong. My team's good. Why is it not good? I don't know what's going on. I don't want to talk about it.
After a weekend of utter madness, the lads coming up from Wolverhampton and coming out into Blackpool. I'll put some of the screenshots here, there and everywhere. We ended up getting a bit too gassed and some of us didn't take our own advice. Scores were low and FPL across the board, looking at the overall average, was pretty fucking poor, mate.
Yep. I mean, the average was 44, so that's not good at all, is it, overall? So I think everybody had a shitter, some more than others.
Some more than others. Yeah, so the change name episodia is because 3 of our team names got changed over the weekend to change name. FPL, have a bit of fucking fun. What's going on, man? What do you keep banning all these names for? We've got a newcomer that came in who had a team name called Benteke Fried Chicken. Apparently that was offensive.
I don't know that one. I don't understand that one.
Below me is gay. Apparently that's offensive.
I mean, I get it, but it's a player's name, so how can it be offensive?
Yep, and Lum's Tiny Balls by Craig Fowler was also deemed slightly offensive.
Lust in my balls.
Lust in my balls. I've got a feeling that Lum might have reported that name.
I didn't know. I wouldn't do that to him.
You plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. I know nothing.
Plead the fifth. So with that said, let's get into the shit show that was Lum, and I'm up first. 41 points, absolutely fucking terrible, man. Not happy with that at all. I didn't take my own advice. Too excited for the weekend, so I forgot to captain Watkins, which would have given me 8 points. 8 points was it? With the assist. I left the captaincy on Haaland, as I'm sure quite a lot of other people did. Watkins, oh, there you are then. So Watkins would have got me 10 points. So in all the excitement of the weekend, absolutely fucked it. Edison, clean sheet, 6 points. Estepinian, Starman again. This season's Trippier with 11. Rico Henry coming off the bench, which I left him on the bench on purpose. Came on and gave me 5 points. Luke Shaw with a paltry 1 yet again. Fat bastard. Rashford, blanking again. Bruno, can't keep his fucking mouth shut. Blanking. Saka, having a shitter. Martinelli, had a shitter. João Pedro, didn't start. Haaland, captain, 4 points, had a shitter. And Watkins, 5 points, so yeah, so that would have put me on an additional 5, which would have put me on 46 for the week. And I had Areola on 10 off the bench for all his saves against Chelsea, and a penalty save. Stones with 0, Anderson with 1, and Kabore didn't play because Luton's ground is absolutely fucked at the moment. So yeah,
that's that.
Pretty poor. Should we have a look at yours?
Nah, let's skip that. We don't need to see it.
On to Liam's team.
My eyes! My eyes.
35 points. Lum, took us free team.
Well, Flecken did alright, he got me a clean sheet. Gabriel is a prick. Well, Arteta's a prick, because he brought him off the bench for 1 point again. If you'd have left him on the bench, then Foden would have come in for 9 points, so that's screwed me, thank you. Estepinian, which everyone's got 11 points, that's great. Chilwell and Colwill 1 point each because we bottled it against West Ham. And then my midfield's pretty much the same as yours, isn't it? Bruno, Saka, Martinelli, Rashford did nothing. Saka could have had a penalty, but he gave the ball and my points to Odegaard. So that captain pick, which could have been genius if he would have got the pen and scored and got the bonus points and everything, would have put me back up there. But no, none of that this week. Haaland, I didn't captain him, so it's the same as everybody else. And Nick Jackson again had chances, and then got booked. So yeah, it's just not great. Team's nothing wrong with the team. It's just not doing what it's supposed to do.
That is the nature of FPL, Lum. All
I need
the
a bit of
best
luck.
laid plans.
Yeah.
All the best laid plans aren't best laid, unfortunately. So looking at your team, Saka did win a penalty. So does that change your mind now over owning Arsenal assets outside of Martinelli and Saka if Saka has now been taken off penalties?
It makes Odegaard a more interesting prospect, doesn't it? I don't know whether he's playing a little bit deeper or not this season. Well, I mean, if it turns out that he's getting forwards more, then maybe I'll swap him and Saka over. Because if he's on penalties, that's just points sat there. If Arsenal get a penalty, like if I would have had Odegaard this week, I get points. It's just unfortunate that for some reason Saka's been taken off them. I know his penalty record's not great, but didn't see him being taken off him like that. And he had the ball in his hands and he gave it to Odegaard, which is just even more of a kick in the teeth. So here's what it is.
Apparently Saka missed a few in pre-season, didn't he? So it looks like potentially Saka is now off penalties, which for the money and what Saka costs, I'm starting to look at it with a different lens now. I don't think Starboy's quite Starboy if he's not taking these penalties.
I had another one as well. Chelsea had a penalty against West Ham, which was saved because Enzo took it. I was hoping Nick Jackson was going to be on penalties since Nkunku was out, because apparently he was going to be the penalty guy, and nobody knew who was going to take penalties for Chelsea. And up steps Enzo and saved. It could have been Nick Jackson. That could have been more points. It could have gone so different this week, but it is what it is.
The best thing about that was the commentator saying an up steps World Cup winner, Enzo Fernandez. But
he was on the pitch. He was on the pitch in the final, and he didn't take a penalty. He wasn't one of the penalty takers for Argentina. So why is he our penalty taker?
Because, like you said, Nkunku's out. He was a penalty taker. Reece James is out. He was your second penalty taker, and now Enzo seems to be your third penalty taker.
Well, his penalties, no, I don't think he should. No.
It's always nice to see an Argentinian miss a penalty, though, isn't
No. No.
Not when you're a Chelsea fan.
No, not when we're a Chelsea fan. Fuck.
So that was our absolute shit show. Going back to my team then. So I'm looking at possible transfers, Lum. So my idea is Watkins to Jackson, Rashford to Foden, Stones to Chilwell. Now I'm not going to make all of those transfers. However, I am looking at potentially a -4 because I feel like I've lost on some of the players that people have already got. I think Jackson, like yourself, has already come in for you. Stones for Chilwell. Stones has been my absolute deadest pick for the whole fucking thing so far. I don't know how long I can hold on to him, and even when he's fit, will he even get back into that City back line?
Yeah, Stones to Chilwell I agree with, because Stones is out, so it's just a dead 5.5 on the bench or 5.4, whatever he is now, because I think he went down. I think Chilwell might have gone up as well. So you'll have to free up some funds out somewhere, because I know you've got nothing left. So you are going to have to make another change somewhere and downgrade someone, which you said Rashford to Foden, which would free up 1.5 million, which means then you could make that move.
On the thing of Foden,
no.
We tried to put a tweet out on Friday Night Gas, or we tried to put a message out on YouTube that basically said all the FPL creators, not throwing any shade at anybody, but FPL creators out there had said to take out Foden, he was too much of a risk, so on and so forth. Not saying that we know something, Lum, but we clearly know something, because I made a case that City have got no midfielders and Foden would have to play and put on an absolute fucking masterclass against Newcastle.
Well, I benched him, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, not taking our own advice, I should have captained Watkins, you should have played Foden.
I should have played Foden and fucking captained him.
Yeah, pretty much. That'd be 18 points.
Him or, I mean, Estepinian was the best, obviously, because he got 11, but Foden was the second highest scoring player I would have had. And he's sat there on the bench.
So looking at your team then, Lum, we've not put any possible transfers in yet again. Are you rolling it? Is this
More
I'm going
than
to stick
likely.
with what I got? Is it ignorance? Is it?
I'm just being stubborn. I can't take any of the United players out against Notts Forest. Just can't do it. Because, sod's law, they'll do something. I can't take out the Chelsea boys against Luton. Gabriel, he's got to come in, right? He's got to come in. Tomiyasu is banned for 3 games. Justin Timber is he's out for God knows how long. So they're running short. Something. Everyone's going down with knee injuries, isn't they? So Arsenal's defence is starting to look a bit depleted. So he's got to come back in, I guess. So I'm going to try it for one more week. If he doesn't play next week, he's gone and he's never come back in. But I'm going to stick with him for one more week. I have got 2 free transfers to make, but I just don't see where I go from here. So I'm just going to leave it.
My issue is that with Manchester United, the fixtures start turning pretty damn sharpish. After we play Nottingham Forest, we've then got Arsenal and we've got Brighton. And if I'm honest, for how we've been playing at the start of the season, the fact that we now lost Mason Mount, I can easily see us getting absolutely rolled by Arsenal and Brighton, which makes me think that holding on for the Man United assets now, after Wolves, Spurs and Forest, I think that was the time to pull the trigger, and after this week they've got to go. So
after this week they're going. At least one of them's going to go for me, at least one after this week, because if I roll, I've still got my 2 free transfers.
Yeah.
So I can either I could drop both, but I probably will. Might keep one, I'm not sure. I need to have a look at the rest of the fixtures and what everyone else has got. Maybe look at Spurs assets, things like that. Maybe even Brighton, because I mean their fixtures aren't great, but they just seem to be playing amazing football at the moment. Maybe even Newcastle. I know they lost to City, but it wasn't a bad result. You know.
I don't know when Newcastle's fixtures turn. I know Brighton's aren't great. United's fixtures pick back up again after the Brighton game. It's Burnley, Palace, Brentford, Sheffield United, and then Man City. So after Brighton, you've got 4 really good fixtures, 4 decent fixtures. You've got Burnley away, Palace at home, Brentford at home, Sheffield United away. So while I feel it's a bit knee-jerk because I don't think they're playing very well, I also think that for the next 2 fixtures, that Rashford potentially is the one that's going to get you the points. But then you'd want to bring him back for after that. And they've also said that Højlund, or there's rumours are that Højlund could potentially be starting this weekend as well, which will mean we'd go with Rashi on the left, Højlund at the top.
Which is better for Rashford, in my opinion. He's not a striker. He doesn't seem to be good there. He's better coming in on the left. So that would make him a better asset.
Yeah, that'll help him massively. I'm not sure who's on penalties. I'm not sure if Højlund's on penalties. If we were to get one and he was to take one, then Bruno Fernandes would automatically become the asset you'd take out straight away, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they'll take the penalties off Bruno.
No, me neither. It depends. I mean, I know he's club captain. He's unlikely to get dropped, but I'll be honest, man, he's fucking running his mouth something mad at the moment.
He keeps getting booked, yeah.
Keeps getting booked. So really, Bruno's not worth having at present. We're not getting any penalties. He's not in any goal involvements.
He got booked for talking to the ref, which the captain is allowed to do. He's allowed to have conversations with the ref. That was the rules. So he was there talking to the ref, and the ref booked him. It's like, well, how was he meant to talk to the ref then? He wasn't being crowded by United players or anything. It was literally just Bruno talking to him, and he got booked for it.
I think there's a difference, though, between talking with somebody and talking at someone. And Bruno talks at people. And I don't think the referee likes that. And to be honest, even as a United fan, man, I've got to agree. I think he's really petulant start of this season. He's the captain. He's meant to be setting the example. And I know a lot of people have said in the past that it's passion. But I just think he's been a bit of a mouthy little shit.
Yeah. I mean, I can't defend the referees either because they haven't had the greatest of starts, have they? Let's be honest.
No, the refs have been an absolute stinker, haven't they?
2 weeks
Speaking of absolute stinkers, Ashley Bates, he had McAllister in. We watched the game.
Yeah.
For me, it was a red card. Red card for you?
I think it was a red card, but it's been rescinded, overturned.
Of course it has.
Of course it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a red card. The referee went and looked at the monitor, gave it as a red card. So how can it be overturned if the referee's gone and took a look at it at the monitor? Before VAR, fair enough, but he's gone and looked at it in slow motion at so many different angles and decided it's a red card. So it's VAR is being undermined by whoever's above them, whether it's the FA or the
Clearly wasn't clear and obvious, was it?
For me, it was a red. It was high, a bit reckless. If it's given as a red, you can't argue that it shouldn't be a red. As far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is.
So, leads us on to the weekly table. So, looking at the weekly tables, it's something like this. Number 1, absolute she show. Andrew Deakin, 137 points, picked up 58 points this week. Yeah, definitely report it. Number 2, new entry. It's like top of the pops, isn't it? Crouch Potato, Mike Banks, 60 points, highest scorer of the week as well. Number 3, European Tour, AVFC, Aaron Perrin, who started his European Tour. 2, lost his glasses for a second time, lost his first glasses in Blackpool somewhere. If anybody finds those glasses, can you please return them to the kiosk in Walkabout? Thank you very much. Started his European Tour by going to Scotland. Nice. Yeah, came back today, 5:30, wasn't it? No? Absolute disgrace, Pez. That's why we love you. Number 4, I'm going to get this right one week. Inolia Aluko, Reece Banks, 44 points. Number 5, Backstreet Moyes, Riley Shields, which is my son, which he actually sent me a text message on Monday saying, haha, Dad, you're rubbish, I'm above you. By 1 point. We'll see how long that lasts, you little shit. Underneath me, speaking of gas men, I'm sorry, I'm number 6. Speaking of gas men, I'm 6 with changed name. I'm not going to change my name. I'm just going to leave it as changed name. It's like Jacko FC, but FPL won't let me have any fun. Let me have my fun, please. No fun. I'll change it back to my tip is wet. My tip is dry then. Gasmen Unite, it's Ashley Bates, number 7, Real Bates with 37 points. Number 8, Deltoid Assemble, Joe McMillan with 39 points. A non-mover at number 9. Number 9. Jacko FC, Lee Jackson on 46 points. Up 1 place. Belong United, John Gillam, 40 points. And down in 10th, joint 10th, but down, I've changed my name, Craig Fowler. 34 points. Underneath that, at 12th, I like to play Liam Palmer, 35 points, having an absolute howler. By a single point, long. Fuck it. Small margin. 13th place, Slabhead FC, Taylor Bates on 34 points. And the bottom 2, as is last week, is this week. 14th, Magpie United, Sean Jackson, 45 points, who we can confirm is a real person, can't we, Lum? And bottom, and still bottom, and will probably be bottom all year, is Let's Try FC, who's not trying very hard, Benjamin Shields on 42 points. Yeah, we'll get onto that in a second. In fact, the Mazda of the Week might go to him for that. but from an FPL point of view, you're going to get it. So, Manager of the Week this week is Mike Banks, new arrival, coming straight out of Wolverhampton into 2nd place. 60 points, highest point total of the week. Takes him on to 133 points. But the Mazda of the Week, and it was very, very close. It was between Ashley Bates and Taylor Bates, both having McAllister for -2s. My brother pissing all over my floor and then deciding to tell me it was me and bringing down a wet pair of jeans he pissed on and told me I'd piss my jeans. Which sounds like the maddest shit that happened this weekend, but there was other stuff as well. But what happens in Blackpool stays in Blackpool. But the match of the week goes to Liam Palmer. Not had a great week, have we, pal? For putting Foden on the bench with 9 points.
I don't think it was that bad. It's just in hindsight, because he got 9 points, it turned out to be a horrible mistake. It could have been a minor, but it is what it is. It's football.
I think you'll have to go some way to triple captaining Harry Kane.
Oh, no one's beating that. Nobody's beating that.
Even my brother pissing on the floor. There's nothing in comparison to that. Ben, I'll be sending you the dry cleaning bill, you bastard.
Pissy jeans. Narcissist.
Yeah, some real narcissistic behaviour for you to piss on somebody's clothes and tell them that they've pissed themselves.
It's just funny when you came out the room. It's like, why's my floor wet? Ben, have you pissed on my floor? And all just no. But this is the kind of thing you do.
Yeah, Ben's 38 years old and still pisses on the floor.
Oh my god, fucking hell.
So a good weekend was had by all. The Blackpool weekend that won't be for another year. This means this weekend, Lum, we can actually concentrate on FPL. We can make our changes when we need to, captain when we need to, and just hope for a much better week, because I can't see it being any worse than this.
Touch wood. Touching wood.
So with the first game of the week kicking off on Friday, it's Chelsea versus Luton. Chelsea, your team, Lum. Give us your quick thoughts then on how you think you're going to do.
We have to win. Have to? I mean, you can't.
That is the most unconfident intro. Lum, Chelsea versus Luton at the weekend. How are you going to do?
Win? Question mark? I'm just hoping fucking Jackson gets some points, or we keep a clean sheet or something. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. United have started shit. We started good against Liverpool, and then West Ham fell apart and bottled it. So there's still 36 more games. There's still a long way to go. Let's see what happens.
And that's the advice we'll take for the end of this episode. There is still a long way to go. Manchester United are shit. Chelsea are shit. We both support shit teams, had shit FPL weeks, and I'm just happy my brother didn't shit on my floor. And with that said, that's the outro. I am, as always, your happy and humble host, Jay. Captain Nick Jackson. Get rid of Bruno. Lum. Have you froze? I'm going to have to edit this.
No. Nah, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Just do something. Just my team, please do something.
Don't forget to get all your transfers in, all your changes in, and in by 6:30 tomorrow. And that'll be it for Friday Night Gas. I'm sure in the edit I'll find a lot of pictures and a lot of funny bits and add them to it. But yeah, that's it, Lum. We're done.
That's it, episode 4.
Episode 4. Wrapped. Let's hope it's a better fucking week.
Yeah.
Peace.